Here we go. It's the Hot Box Podcast. DJ E-Rock in the building. My brother Box Kev. Well, I mean, we're not really in the building.
We're in a building.
I mean, you're in your building, and I'm in my building. So I mean, like, we're not in the building. You know what I mean?
We're not in the building, but this was great about technology today is that as long as you got an internet connection and a webcam, you got a podcast.
Yo, you're a well-traveled man these days, brother. Like, yo, I can't keep up with you. We're doing this podcast, obviously, from the comfort of our own homes because of the fact that, obviously, I've been a lot of places. I've got some things going on. You've got a lot of things going on. You were actually working remote in Mexico. Like, you know, I mean.
My boss doesn't know that. My boss doesn't know that, okay? I was VPNing in, all right? But I was, like, legit working, though. Like, I got there last week. I took the day off to obviously travel and get on the plane, but like all day Thursday, all day Friday, like I was working. I wasn't out chilling. I mean, I went out like at nighttime or whatever. And then, which was cool, got to like legit enjoy the weekend while I was out there because I didn't have to worry about work. But then Monday rolled around and I was right back at it working on Monday. And then I left Tuesday. But yeah, it was dope, man. I had a good time. Obviously COVID and all that. I've been going down to Mexico for many years. My cousin, her in-laws own a property down near Puerto Vallarta. So we've been going down there for years for her mother-in-law's birthday. The whole family kind of comes down for her birthday. And then it kind of rolls into the fiestas, the town, that their family is from is about 4 hours away from Puerto Vallarta, like in the mountains, rural Mexico.
No way. So you land and then you have another 4-hour drive.
When I do that trip, that's how it normally goes. So normally how it normally goes is we fly into Puerto Vallarta. We'll spend like 3-4 days there. Then from there, we'll drive to the town, which, like I said, is in the middle of nowhere. It is like rural ranch style Mexico, no internet. It's just out in the middle of nowhere, but it's dope. It's a completely different experience, but you know, I love it all the same, but I just couldn't go
off the grid.
It's dope, man. Like we well, like I said, before COVID, we used to go many times a year. But in December, we would go for my cousin's father-in-law's birthday. And he always did his birthday party at the ranch. They have a ranch out there. And we would be out there legit, like milking cows, branding bulls, like doing the whole real, like Yellowstone type shit. So, I didn't get a chance to go. Man, no. You just wear like your cowboy ranch gear, which is like a flannel or like a Wrangler, shirt. But I got the hat on. I got the boots. I'm full blown cowboy Kev when I'm out there. But I didn't get a chance to go this year because I just had to work. I got a lot of stuff going on at work right now. So I went down there for about, probably like a week or so, got to enjoy the time. Stayed at the house down there for a few days and then spent the last couple of days at a hotel just because I wanted to kind of decompress before coming back to the States. But here I am back in America on American soil. Can't say how long I'm going to be here. I mean, I never know where I'm going to go next.
No, I mean, that's exactly why we got to do this podcast pretty much remotely because we can't keep up with you. You travel more than I do now, which is crazy. And that's facts. Like, I probably hop on an airplane. I'd say probably, I don't know, fucking maybe like twice a month now. I used to do probably like 6 airplanes a week back in the day.
No, now, he was out.
I was out. Now probably like every 2 weeks, like I'm on an airplane now. But you, man.
It's been a lot. Well, it's just, honestly, it's been
well-traveled.
It's just been, I knew I had a lot going on in like May, June, July. It actually kind of dies down for me a little bit in August. I really don't have a whole lot going on in August. But then football season's right around the corner. So I'm trying to hit as many away 49er games as possible. Going to hit week 1 in Chicago. So all my Niner fans, they're going to roll out to Chicago. So, check this out, E-Rock. The Giants are playing the Cubs in Chicago that weekend. And the same weekend, the Niners are playing the Bears for week 1. So I got my Giants Cubs tickets for Saturday. Got my Niners Bear tickets for Sunday. So that's going to be popping. So all the Niner fans, if you guys are going to be out in Chicago, hit me up. Let's link. Let's get some pizza. Let's get some Portillo's, the chocolate cake shake. If y'all don't know about that, I'm just going out there to eat, really. The 49ers and the Giants is just an excuse for me to go out there and have deep dish pizza, hot dogs.
I think I need to get booked at Tao Chicago that weekend and just like, put the icing on the cake. I think that's going to be the next phone call that I make after, like, we're done with this podcast tonight. So,
bro,
if I can make that happen, that would be.
You got to do it.
Yeah, that would be fucking incredible.
Do they do Sunday nights out there? Do they do like Sunday nights?
We don't do Sundays, but I usually play Saturdays. So I would probably fly in on Saturday, and then I'll play Saturday night. Granted, I'll play until like 3:30 in the morning because I always get smacked there.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Oh man, Chicago is like one of my favorite cities to play in. It's probably the funnest city for me to actually DJ in.
Chicago is a dope city, period. Yeah, for sure.
Incredible. The culture there, the nightlife there. Oh my God. It's amazing.
Oh, bro, you gotta start working on that. I think it's literally like the weekend of like September. Right, I'll tell you right now. Hold on. Let me look at the calendar. The game itself is on September 11th. So Saturday, September 10th, we need the DJ E-Rock at Tao in Chicago so I can go party, eat food, and go to the games.
All right, no pressure, E-Rock. No pressure. Yeah,
and then if you can work on a gig for the Mexico City game, I'm gonna be down there for that too. So
you know what? We tried.
International E-Rock.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. They said that they might have like some like level of activation down there. Like this is talking to the 49ers, but right. A lot of us try to finagle a free ticket and our way down there. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen though. They said maybe, but if we do, I don't know if we need a DJ. I'm like, well, I'll do it for free.
Right?
I'll do it for a ticket.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. I've been literally looking forward to this game for like 10 years. I think it was 10 years or longer since the last NFL game was played in Mexico City, and it was Niners Cardinals. And I didn't get a chance to go to that one. And I've been saying for like the last 5 years, when the rumblings about the NFL going back down to Mexico City, because, they've been doing all the games in London, they're expanding into Germany this year. I was like, yo, if the Niners specifically ever get back to Mexico City, I don't care what the hell's going on in my life, I'm going. And literally the second the tweet went out with the date, I jumped online, I booked my flight, I booked my hotel. I was like, I'm fucking going. So
are you bringing your Cowboy Kev outfit or
nah, because Mexico City's like, it's like the New York City of Mexico.
Okay.
So it's
I've
like
been
big city living out there. Yeah.
I've been like once, I think like me and my parents, like when we used to do family vacations, I went like one time, but I never left the hotel. I never did. So, plus at the same time, I was probably 12 years old at the time.
Yeah, 12 years old in Mexico City. That's a little overwhelming. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an amazing time. So again, I know a lot of Niner fans are planning on making the trip down there. So any Niner fans that are going out to Mexico City, hit me up. Let's connect. Let's take over a bar and make it into a Niner bar on I think Sunday, because I think that game's on Monday night.
On you, bro.
First round's on me. If you hit me up and we go out there, first round's on me 100%. The good thing is it's Mexico, so drinks are a lot cheaper out there, so I can handle that one.
It's like, yo, do you know what they call tequila out there? Water. Come on, man.
Right.
It's water. It's everywhere.
That's it. Just let me have a drink. Tequila. There you go. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to getting out there and traveling and hitting some 49er away games, because honestly, that's one of my favorite things about traveling is tying it to something sports related and having an excuse to go out there. Like I went to Indianapolis one year, actually by myself, because I wanted to go to the the Niners Colts game, and it was Indianapolis. None of my friends wanted to go at the time. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna roll up there by myself. I went out there, had a fucking amazing time, and it's just dope for people that like to travel. And if you can kind of schedule it around sporting events, it's just a good excuse to go. And it gives you something to do already when you're out there. You don't got to worry about, planning a whole itinerary or whatever. You're like, cool, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go find some food.
That's a whole day affair right there. That takes up all the space on the itinerary for an entire day. So
yeah, and it was dope. So man, like I said, anybody who's going to be out there, Chicago, Mexico City, I'm still trying to think if there's a couple other spots that I want to maybe try to hit up this year too, like Atlanta. I know the Niners playing Atlanta. I would love to go out there for that game. So, but yeah, I got a little bit of a break from travel to tie it all back in. So August, I'll be chilling for the most part. And then, like I said, September first weekend, Niners Chicago will be out there. E-Rock's DJing at Tao. Hit him up right now. I'll put you on the guest
We're
list.
going to put that in the universe right now. Right now. So, yo, Colin Comer, I'm actually going to clip this, man. I'm going to make a reel, a TikTok out of it.
Shout out to Tao, man. Shout out to Tao in Chicago.
Yes. Shout out Tao Chicago, Colin Comer, Adam Ganwanter. I need to play there September 10th. Let's put it in the universe right now.
September 10th.
Okay?
Let's book it. Let's book it, people. Let's go, man. Niner takeover in Chicago.
Well, you know, you mentioned how things are slowing down for you work-wise in regards to your travel schedule. Obviously, like, you know, I took I wouldn't say I took a break from traveling because it's not like, you know, the amount of gigs that I have has like, you know, like went, or the number of gigs that I'm doing has like went down. But, you know, moving to Vegas has obviously given me a lot of time. Like I'm not traveling as much because like, 90% of my gigs are here, like, you know, on the strip. But I don't know. Did I mention to you that I'm going to have actually probably a lot more time this summer or even going probably into the winter? I don't even know what I'm going to do, but I got laid off from my my day gig.
No.
Yeah,
corporate E-Rock got laid off. Damn.
Yeah, but it wasn't sour. You know, for those that are watching and listening, you know, I used to work for a company called Zen. Zen is owned by Amazon and Zappos. They're actually headquartered here in the city of Las Vegas. Part of the reason why I actually moved here too, you know, because I figured that like, hey, like, you know, when things start slowing down and like, you know, I want to kind of like, you know, take a back seat from like traveling, like, yo, I got this little corporate gig down the street in downtown Las Vegas that I could probably double down on. But, you know, just like a lot of other companies, like, you know, due to the pandemic, they decided to downsize, and I was a part of that. I don't know how to call it. Like, you know, I mean,
corporate restructuring. That's what they always fucking
restructuring.
Corporate restructuring.
Yeah. I'm a victim of corporate restructuring. But you know what though? There's no love lost.
You're a free agent. That's a good thing.
Definitely a free agent. No love lost. You know, I mean, you know, Zen gave me a platform to do a lot of great things. I mean, you know, as a marketing exec, or actually it was my first time actually being a marketing exec, you know, or looked upon like, you know, to be worthy of that role. Like, you know, I was able to do like, you know, big partnerships with like Rolling Loud, you know, various radio stations, like huge partnerships with iHeart, and I had like a brand ambassador program that was through the roof. Like, you know, we were doing collabs left and right with, you know, with people. And this is all pre-pandemic. Like, you know, I remember being a part of the whole entire Murakami thing. You remember those sweatshirts that said like Chicago or Los Angeles and stuff like that? That was all like, you know, that was all us. Complex Con, like the gift shop, all that stuff and all the merch. Like we were the people behind that, you know? So it gave me a huge platform. I'm not mad at the situation. You know, it stings a little bit because, you know, I was there since day one. But, you know, I think moving forward, though, considering like everything that I got to like get done with this company, like, you know, I think I want things to be a little bit more on my terms. And I don't think it's a thing of money. I think it's just a thing of like, you know, time. Like, no, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, literally, I got laid off last Wednesday, bro. I've been waking up at 12:30 every single day for the last week and a half.
As you should.
I don't know how it feels, you know, to not have to wake up, or I can't go out like on a Monday or a Wednesday or something like that because I had calls on like, you know, Tuesdays at like 8 a.m.
That never really stopped you, buddy.
Scared, but no, I mean, when I go out, you know, I like to go out and have a good time.
You be out regardless. Fucking 7 a.m. conference call, your ass is still out the night before. I'm turning down drinks. I'm like, you know, telling people like, yo, I can't go to the strip club after. Yo, I can't go eat after it. Hey, I gotta leave by 1. You know, like all that is like out the door, at least for now. It's not gonna be forever, but for now. But you know, I'm kind of enjoying my life. You know, I'm going out. I mean, you see my Instagram. I've been out damn near like probably like if I've been laid off for about 7 days, I've probably been out about 6. You be outside. You've been outside, and it's hot as fuck outside too, man. You are.
Oh my god, yo, it's baking out here. But it's the summer. It's like I don't think I know what a free summer is.
Yeah, well, you still don't. I mean, you still gonna be busy, so that's good. But like, that's the beauty of free agency, though. You know what I mean? Like, you're a free agent. You get to reset the market. You know how the sports terminology. You get to reset the market. You know, whatever your salary was before, you were working there for X amount of time. Now you get to give yourself an increase. And on, I work in tech in Silicon Valley. It's
AKA
well,
rich.
it's well known that in tech,
At Box Kev on Instagram, check out the pool. My Lord.
Yeah, here it's just a doughboy, little blow up thing. But yeah, no, in tech, it's a known thing where literally people in tech will literally move around and change jobs like every 12 to 18 to 24 months, because every time you move up and every time you go to a new company, you get that opportunity to renegotiate your salary and get a pay increase. It's not like the standard pay raises that you might see, working at any other company where you might get the cost of living raise or whatever, but you have an opportunity to completely reset the market, and that's dope for you. You know what I mean? Like your resume is that much more vast and has that much more credibility to it, that much more experience. So now you take that with the salary that you were given, and you go on to the next company and be like, I need 30% more or 20% more. You know what I mean? And if you need me to help you negotiate, let me know. I'm a master at it. So
you're going to be my agent when it comes down to my next corporate gig or my next consulting gig. How about that, Kev?
Trust me, bro. I got you, man. So many. I've hooked up so many of the homies with emails and cover letters on how to negotiate their salary. So let's get you paid, man. Let's get you paid.
I mean, I could just sit here and just DJ. I'm still on the radio. That's a full-time thing. I mean, I was like a Jamaican, bro. I had like 5 jobs. You know what I mean? I had Zen, I had Zappos, I had Rookie, I had, iHeart, I had, I still have like, DJ stuff. Like all these things are still there. I mean, I could kind of like chill and just kind of like live off of that. I mean, even being on Twitch, like I could probably like, even make a good living doing that. But I already know what's going to happen. I'm gonna go through the motions for a little bit. I'm going to realize that like, hey, I don't have to do this like how I used to. I don't have to wake up in the morning, or I can kind of live and write my own ticket for a little bit. But I know I'm going to get bored. I know I'm going to be like, all right, I need to do something more. I need to take on more. Like for some reason, I think it's like, it's a weird thing. I don't know if it's a complex, but like, unless I'm like super stressed out and busy, I feel like I'm not doing anything. Is that weird?
No, I know. No, not at all. Because, that's especially in radio, like, that's how we came up. Like we came up as interns, as kids who were were literally working for free. And the only way that you got recognition is you had to out hustle everybody else. There might have been 30 interns that were brought in for the summer. They might have kept a small handful, maybe 3-4 of them. And if you wanted to be one of those people, you literally had to outwork and outgrind everybody. I mean, I know we were putting in 70, 80 hours a week at the radio station for free. Now, granted, all of that has changed now in California specifically, where even interns have to actually get paid. Back then we were doing it for college credits or
I remember experience, begging for a paycheck on like, hey, I've been here for like 3 years. I wash the vans every week. Like, yo, can I get paid? And they're like,
nope.
We'll wait till next year. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
And honestly, Johanna Lagarda one time, she denied me like three times, like, to get a paycheck.
Hey,
she's going to text me when she sees this episode too.
I know. I've been there. You know what I mean? I've been there. And the fucked up thing was, and we didn't realize it at the time, when you finally did get paid, which was, intern to essentially like van driver, which meant that you were the one who actually drove the vehicle with now interns in your vehicle. You were paid the minimum wage, and we're talking minimum wage 15, 20 years ago. You know what I mean? And you were happy. God. You were happy to get that because it wasn't about the paycheck. It wasn't about
what it was really about, bro?
It was just proving that you made it and the status that kind of came with it as like, yo, I'm a paid employee. Like,
not only that, it was about the key card.
Well, we got key cards as intern.
Key card? Well, yo, at Wild, when I left and went to Wild, I remember people or people that I worked with and they were interns and whatnot. Like, I feel like, like the timeline was different. Like I came, I felt like you can get paid a little bit quicker. When I went to Wild, I realized that like, the intern timeline was a little bit different. Like you worked for X amount of hours for X amount of years for free. Then you got the key card. You got the access. I remember people used to be rejoicing like in those hallways go, oh my God, I got a key card. I'm like,
Yeah, I think you're
paycheck. Nah, that's not, no paycheck, but I got a key.
No, I think you're right. I think when you started out as an intern, you didn't get a key card because you always had to like call like the van driver, the lead when you got to the building. Right? Yeah. Can you let me up? No, you're right. Because the key cards also had access to like where the studios were at, and as you know, it was super frowned upon for interns to ever go into the studio. Yeah. Unless you had like a specific reason that was told to you by, the boss that you could go in there. But it
was our reason back in the day at KMEL. It was playing dominoes with Vaughn.
With Vaughn, yeah, Vaughn's the fucking troublemaker. Obviously, he's the one who breaks the rules and gets everybody in there. And thank God he did, because I built an amazing relationship with Vaughn, and obviously he is still to this day one of my best friends. And he was a mentor to me throughout my whole radio career, and I would have never got where I did without him. And being around him and just soaking up game and watching him interview fucking every single celebrity you can imagine, and seeing his rapport with people and whatnot. Like, I was like, man, this dude's got to figure it out. So. We shout out Vaughn a lot, but we're going to get him on the podcast one of these days.
We have to get him on the podcast. Like, I feel
he's going to be out here in a few weeks. I've been busting his balls.
He's been saying that forever, though, man. Like,
he said he was going to come once my pool's ready. So I was like, all right, my pool's ready now. My pool's finally done. So I was like, get your punk ass out here. So he's actually coming in a couple weeks.
Vaughn, if you're watching the podcast,
he's not.
How about
he's
this?
Not.
Your first. He's probably not.
He's a hater. We know that. Vaughn's a hater, but I love him anyway.
Your first yard-long drink that you like to like drink on the strip and walk up and down, like, it's on me. It's on me. So
what's crazy?
Way out here. Let's go.
What's crazy though is like Vaughn, as you know. Vaughn didn't start drinking until a very late age in life. He didn't start drinking until he was like in his early 20s. And then we went through what I like to call the hyphy years, where we was drinking 5, 6, 7 nights a week in some instances for years. Yeah. But Vaughn doesn't really drink like that anymore. He's not a big drinker. Like he'll go out and we'll go out to dinner. I can't say I've been out to a club with him, and I can't even tell you how long, but we'll go out to dinner and stuff like that. And we used to order drinks and that. He isn't really big. He's not a really big drinker, Adam. So he's respecting that he's no longer Peter Pan. Yeah, even though he's that's his goal in life, was to be Peter Pan and live forever. But
bro, he used to tell me that forever. I'm like, bro, how do you do it? He said, man, I'm Peter Pan.
Still says it. He's not though.
Still says it?
No, he's not.
Come on.
No, he's not. He's not. But like I said, we'll get him out. We'll get him out to Vegas. We'll get a couple drinks in them, and we'll see the old Big Vaughn come back out. Trust me.
I love that. To be honest, man, like even the air personality that I am today, or even how I MC on the mic when I play, like at clubs like Tao and Marquee and Light, like here in Vegas, like. One of my big things, or one of my added values when I came into the city, was being on the mic.
Yeah, not a lot of DJs do that.
No, for years. Yeah. Like DJs did not get on the mic out here for a long time. But then I remember I started emceeing at a young age. I remember like I started emceeing like next to Vaughn. Vaughn and I used to go to city nights all the time. Back in the day, hanging from the fence. Remember the DJ booth that had the fence? Whatchamacallit? We would be right there, just literally hanging like from the rafters, right? Literally. But I remember grabbing the mic from him because I don't know, he had to talk to somebody, whatever. Like someone said hi to him, said, "Yo, hold this," and I got on the mic, and then he looks at me. He's like, "Yo, that's how you MC?" I was like, "Yeah, am I doing it wrong?" He's like, "Bro, you got to pull it out of him. It's almost like you got to punk him." I'll never forget that talk. And then literally like the next week, I think I played like city nights on like Wednesdays or something like that. I took that advice and I took heed with it. And I literally just started getting on the fucking microphone like I was punking people.
Yeah.
Sure enough. Like, yo, you tell someone to hey man, put your hands up. No one's going to put your hands up. You get on like, yo, everybody in the building, put your damn motherfucking hands up. Da, 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 da. Like you sticking up the plates.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Obviously, I got better at it, and I took it here to Vegas. But I really, I want to give Vaughn his flowers, because like if it wasn't for that very moment where he literally put me in my place and was like, "Yo, man, like you can't be on the microphone like that. this is how you do it. And I swear to God, step by step, he even pulled it back and was like, yo, this is how you do it. And then later on down the night, I did it. I was like, okay, shit. Then I started like, doing it on my own. 20 some odd years later, here we are,
Here we are, man.
Shout out to Big Vaughn, man. I want to give my brother his flowers. Our brother. He's my old roommate too, which was funny for a little bit. Oh my God.
I've heard stories. I've heard stories. But yeah. Well, maybe we'll talk about those. Maybe we won't. But we're gonna have him on the podcast real soon. Like I said, he's gonna be out here in a couple weeks. So hopefully we can get him in studio and we'll do the whole shebang. So yeah, we'll definitely get to that.
Indeed. We got a big guest today. Chance the Rapper, Chicago's own.
Mm-hmm.
Man, amazing conversation. That dude is not only is he intelligent, he's one of the most genuine souls that you will talk to in hip hop ever. He
seems like it. He seems like a very, level set kind of, head on straight kind of guy.
Oh yeah. And the conversation that we had, it was freaking incredible. Like I will say this, like out of all the interviews I've done in the last 2.5 years, this was probably top 3. So without further ado, let's get to it. You know what it is. It's the Hot Box Podcast. E-Rock, Box, Kev, Chance the Rapper right here. And I got a very, very special guest, man. And what's crazy is that, like, I feel like, that not only being a fan that I kind of already know you, but we've met a couple times. I also frequent like a lot of the nightlife scene in Chicago every now and then. Shout out to Tout Chicago one time, Colin Comer, who I know is watching this interview right now. But ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get more Chicago than this. Well, I mean, you got the 96 Bulls, but you got Chance the Rapper on the show tonight. Chance, what's poppin', man? It's good to see you right now, man.
Hey, I appreciate you saying from time to time you see me at the club, because I do be at the club very often. But yeah, sometimes Chicago nightlife brings us together. It's good to see you.
I mean, Chicago nightlife is popping. To be honest, it's my favorite city to play in. Like, I love Chicago nightlife.
I would agree with that. It gets very crazy, very wild.
Yeah, it definitely gets very wild, but the food is amazing out there. I mean, the culture is just like, it's through the roof, man. I love Chicago. I mean, I wouldn't say Chicago is like my second home, but it's definitely like, a good third or fourth, just because like, I'm from the Bay Area. I spent a lot of time in LA, and now I'm here in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? But Chicago, definitely top 5 city that if you have not visited and if you've not spent any time there, you got to go. You got to go, especially with Lollapalooza weekend coming up. I mean, that's like, that's a big weekend. I mean, you ready for that or?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be cracking. The summer, Chicago has a lot of crazy events during the summer. They finna do they call it the Taste of Chicago next weekend. That's always been a big deal. They have over 1,000 different restaurants with booths come through, and like they do fireworks and all types of crazy stuff. So it's like, I would say for me, even though I have traveled to a lot of places, it's definitely the best city to me to like do stuff in and have fun.
Hey, I agree with you, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Obviously we're big supporters of your music. Child of God, which was a single that you recently had put out. We'll talk about the new single in a few minutes. But Child of God, tell me about that record and how that came together.
Yeah, Child of God is probably one of my best records that I made. It's very personal record about perseverance, about confidence, about process of creating. And it kind of like launched this whole, movement towards like higher, more elevated art from me, and working with visual artists like painters and sculptors and stuff to help create like a physical, tangible part of my song. So I actually made the song with my homie Moses Sumney, who's a vocalist, but also with this chick, with this amazing artist named Nyla Obianga, who's from Gabon, Central Africa. And I met her on a trip to Ghana in Africa, and I met her at her paint studio and was just so moved by her pieces that it kind of like made me say, hey, you should do, I don't even want to call it cover art. You should do an art piece that represents my song, and we can use it as like a physical piece, almost like I don't even know, not memorabilia, but like a way to really tie it in. So I flew her to Chicago about a week after I got back from Ghana, and I had this record, like you said, Child of God, that was so much about process that I asked her if I could film her making this piece that I wanted her to make for the song. And I ended up becoming the music video and kind of made a tie-in of all these different pieces of art, from the music to the painting to the filmography. You know, I do video, I directed and I did the director of photography for that video and a lot of my other videos now. But yeah, it's like we basically just had a series of conversations. That's what I've been doing with a lot of visual artists lately, where we just talked about a multitude of different things. And the one that we stuck on for the longest was process. And how do you get yourself as a creative to fully see through and execute making a new creation? And yeah, like I said, it's probably one of my favorite pieces. Thank you for playing that joint so much.
Of course, man. Yeah, we did that. You know, I mean, we're a 2-hour show, but hey, we would play it like 2-3 times a night. You know what I mean? But a lot of that is just like, you know, I feel like, you know, me, you know, being a Chance the Rapper fan, I mean, that's an automatic thing. And it was a breath of fresh air, you know, to hear a record like that as a DJ and be able to play a record like that and be able to have that message, like, you know, resonate for people that were listening to the show. You know, I think that's very important these days, you know?
No, yeah, no.
We need more of that.
I'm trying to be a disruptor. I mean, I am a disruptor. And like my music doesn't necessarily sound like the other music that's coming out. I'm not the same kind of artist or human as anybody else out. I'm just me. And the stuff that I create, I need people to hear it. And I feel like the words on Child of God or any of the new records I've been making are words that people need to hear. And you as a broadcaster, as a person that like has these millions of ears every day, like to see you choose to play something that's so, you know, left, but also like uplifting. And, you know,
we need more of that, man. We need more of that.
That's exactly what we need. So we're gonna disrupt this stuff. I'm trying not to cuss because I know that I don't want you to have to edit all through this and stuff.
Hey, you can do whatever you want. You Chance the Rapper, my brother, and I'm a big fan. So hey, go ahead.
Yeah, fuck. That's what I'm doing right now. And so I think 2022 is gonna be remembered as the year of disruption and what I'm doing and what I'm trying to bring to people that they don't have, but they might subconsciously want. You know what I'm saying? Like people want to know who they are as a child of God, or that people across all demographics and ways of life deal with the highs and the lows. Like all of these different conversations that I've had with these artists that are from all around the world, from, you know, Africa to the islands to Jamaica to the UK, all these different Black artists had these, you know, had crazy insight on the conversations I was having with them. And then I was like, I'll just be like, okay, we'll paint that, you know, and I'm going to go make the song. When we come back together, we're going to make a visual for it that's so beautiful and disruptive that when people check it out, they got to say, this is what I've been missing. This doesn't look or sound or feel like anything else I'm seeing. And I trust it and I believe it. And that's the kind of response I feel like we've been getting. So yeah, 2022 is, I almost want to say it's scary, but it's not. It's joyful. It's and it's real, and I love it.
You do so much for the culture, especially for your fans and your community. Tell me about a few weeks ago, you surprised kids at a summer camp, man. Tell me about that real quick.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah. I love seeing stories like that, you know?
Thanks, man. No, so it was a bit of a surprise. I've been running this day camp. My nonprofit Social Works, we run a day camp in Chicago. It's actually 2 campuses, but 1 camp where kids go do vacation Bible school, but in like a newer, cooler way. So it's about 100 kids at each campus, and they come in and do, you know, they have like a class. I forget what it's called. I don't know why I'm tripping right now. My daughter goes to the camp, one of them. And
oh, nice.
But they do like vacation Bible school and study and stuff. But then they also do sports and dance and entrepreneurship classes and crazy field trips. And it's the camp that I grew up going to. So it started at my church when I was a kid, and then when I got a little bit older, we started funding it after they lost funding from the Chicago Park districts, and kind of like reinvigorated the spirit at our church and then at the other churches that we started putting the camps at. And so the last 2 years we've been we've been doing it remote. We couldn't do in-person camp anymore. And so this was our first year back, and they always do their the sign up thing, whatever it's called. They do like their orientation at this water park. And so I decided to pull up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and my daughter's going to camp there. So like I surprised her and brought her up there, and they signed up for class and had a great time.
Amazing.
But yeah, it was A1.
Amazing. That's got to be one hell of a show and tell day for your daughter right there. You know, I love that. I love that. How important is it for Chance the Rapper to be there for the youth?
That's my whole goal. That's like my whole theory and part of what I was talking about with this disruption. It's like a part of this larger heist. Like we're trying to free the artist from this, the commodification that comes along with working in this industry. Like whether you're a visual artist or a rapper, at some point you get commodified and become like a product and something that people can exploit. And I'm trying to free the artist from that so that I could free their art. And then the main goal is to free the youth, because I'm not as worried about the adults. I know that we're all kids at heart and we all need help. But my goal is that if I can make transformative, impacts on these kids' lives now, it'll stay with them in the future. And that's how we get to a better world. Like we can try and reteach adults and try and create spaces for them. And that is part of what we do. But like, it's mainly about teaching these kids. When I was a kid, I went to this after school program called U Media that a lot of like the Chicago rappers that we know today, Saba, Mick Jenkins, Lucky X, No Name, Vic Mensa, like everybody, a lot of us went to this after school program. It was like an arts program where they had an open mic and we used to come and, rap and do poetry. Some of my people that do comedy now used to do stand up back then. But we were kids, we're all like 14 and 15 years old. And there was an older dude there named Brother Mike Hawkins. He actually passed away a few years back. But he was a mentor to, I would say, like 50% of the acts at my age that came out of Chicago. And he was just like a deep, very educated, very wise, very militant Black dude that kind of just got us right, got us straight, and wanted to see us get better at our craft and treated us like adults that were working in the craft already rather than like kids that were looking to it. So I know that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know that because of him, even just being around for me and other the other kids that I knew that I was growing up with, it radically changed our lives and created a career space for us and created, capital for us to do what we need to do for our families and for our community. So like, I would say every single person actually that came up from under him now, on top of being an artist, all do work for the youth. And so I think the plan is we get these kids right, you know what I'm saying? And give them the help and the resources that they need. And then it'll just like carry on a snowball effect till we all right.
I love that. I love that. You're a Chicago native. I mean, you're as Chicago as it gets, man. Every time I think about Chicago, I'm like, yo, you got the 96 Bulls, you got Michael Jordan, you got Kanye West, and you got Chance the Rapper. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, yo, this is in your blood, man, and I love how you really represent the community more than anything, man. That's a big reason why I'm such a big fan, I would say maybe a few days ago, a senseless tragedy happened in a suburb of Chicago. I want to say Highland Park. How far would you be from there, right now? Like maybe like, I don't know, like a couple miles or something like that?
I'm downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
But I actually live like not that far from Highland Park too. I have a house or a studio space out in the suburbs that's literally a 6-minute drive from Highland Park. And I was going to meet my family when the news broke about it. And there's not many words that I have for it other than that it was, obviously an evil, monstrous act. And I don't know how, this man was able to create content and music videos and stuff for the past year or so, speaking so negatively and kind of like making threats towards his own life or hurting others and not be monitored like that. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it doesn't make sense. I'm still like, I'm still really in shock about it because you hear about mass shootings so often, but what are the chances that you're actually near to or from like a place that it happens at?
I mean, this one had to hit home. You know what I mean? I mean, they all do, really, to be honest.
No, yeah, they all do. But it's you just keep thinking like, it feels like things just keep getting closer and closer. You know what I'm saying? You see it happen in one place and you're like, oh shit, that happened at a club. That's crazy. But then you see it happen at a church, or then you see it happen at the grocery store, and then you see it happen at the parade, and then you see it happening at more and more schools every month. And you realize that, you know, it's getting closer and closer in proximity to you, and it's a real American problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, America has had a history of problems. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we don't tend to like look at it from a space of like this reflecting us, and more so like a reflection of like a otherized government or otherized governance. But in reality, like, we the people are the ones that have that pressure and create the change that like can save lives and stuff. So I appreciate all the people that have been you know, protesting or advocating or working towards getting laws that protect people from these kind of tragedies. And, you know, but even with that, like, it's so hard to immediately like politicize how to prevent stuff like that from happening when it just happened to people that are, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like anything that happens in the country, like, especially when it's tied to like these mass shootings that keep happening, it's like we immediately, you know, try and solve for the problem, which is smart and makes sense. But it also kind of sometimes lacks the humanity to recognize that, like, you know, that's like might be the furthest thing from somebody's mind who just lost their mother, or their father, or their you know, their child, or whoever's affected by the tragedy. So it's just something crazy to me. It's really like hard for me to even wrap my mind around. It's very evil and monstrous for sure.
So how do we make our communities safer?
For my community, we need connection. We need the ability to be in connectivity, to understand each other, to converse with each other, and to be able to have respect for life for each other. There's an old saying, or a word, I can't give you the direct translation, but I don't know if you heard the term Ubuntu. It means I am because we are, and that's like one of the biggest things that I've been trying to like inject into all my friendships, all my relationships, all the people that I come in contact with, even as strangers. My community specifically has been, you know, ravaged, subjugated, exploited, commodified by American and westernized racism and colonialism, and my people globally have been subjugated and commodified and violated by capitalism and racism. And so I think for me, when I think about my community and I think about the troubles that we're facing, I do believe that a lot of them could be subverted by just knowing each other and knowing that we are one community. Like you said, having community is the best way to save my community.
Speaking of community, man, tell me about your recent Juneteenth celebration in Chicago.
That Juneteenth Father's Day.
Fire.
That was crazy.
Come on now.
Insane, yeah. You know, over 15,000 people.
15,000 people?
Yeah. Without
Wow.
incident. Without any trouble, without any fights, without anybody getting hurt or passing out or nothing. It was a blessed day. Being in community. That's the number one thing. That's what I'm creating with this album. That's what I'm creating with these events that I'm doing. That's what I'm creating with the conversations I'm having with artists around the world. Like, I'm trying to create spaces for us to speak privately and to speak in love and in truth, and like you said, create community. So we did the same event, this Juneteenth event last year, and my homie Vic Mensa organized the whole thing. It was presented by Save Money, but Vic did all the legwork, and we've been talking about it since last year. I think last year we had maybe about 5,000 people come. And ever since that day,
5 to 15, that's a big jump right there, man.
No, it's insane. But it just came from the organization. That came from me and Vic being tighter and being in community and being able to like say, how do we grow this and how do we create more spaces? So like right after that grocery store, that the incident that happened in Buffalo, where the white supremacist came in and killed these elderly folks, you know, without discrimination. He just went out and killed all these people. I started being in more and more conversation with different Black folks about how we react as one, as opposed to like a million voices. Like, and and what we came to the conclusion is that we just need our own spaces. We need safe spaces. And so the Juneteenth event ended up being just that. There were a lot of connections made, a lot of conversations had, a lot of history taught, and a demonstration of what, you know, community could look like. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I'm coming right back. I got my daughters with me.
Oh, no, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm coming. Hey, sorry about that.
Nah, don't apologize. Never apologize, man. You're being a dad, bro. Like,
yeah,
it's amazing, bro. It's amazing. That's life.
It's crazy. I'm lucky. Like both my daughters got sick at the same time. My oldest daughter is with her nanny right now, and I'm about to have to leave and go take her to a doctor's appointment in about an hour. But it's crazy when you got two kids sick at the same time because they both need so much. You know,
it's a lot of work. Wait, we were talking about the Juneteenth celebration. I don't know exactly where you left off at.
Yeah, no, I was just saying it's a community is something that we, my people, benefit greatly from and come from. We come from community. We come from having elders, having respect for our children, having, you know, deep, you know, connection with each other. And by design of the United States and the way that we've been socialized, like we get further and further from that. But that's where our strength lies, is being, it's in being connected and it starts here. It starts on the ground in Chicago. Like, I can't tell you probably how many people saw people they hadn't seen in years, I hadn't talked to in so long, and we're basically, you know, put in position to reconnect. But it starts in Chicago. Once we get Chicago fully connected up, we're gonna bring the whole world together in blackness and in love.
Tell me about your trip to Ghana that's coming up.
Yeah, no, we're going to Accra, Ghana, which is in West Africa tomorrow, or in 2 days.
Tomorrow? Oh, wow.
No, it's in 2 days. I was wrong. I got a show first, but I was just saying, I went to Ghana with my brother Vic Mensa at the top of the year. It was my first time going to Ghana. Made some lifelong friends. Got some information and teachings that changed my entire understanding of this life and who I am and what we are as a people. And now we're going back because we have a big announcement that we're going to actually make in Ghana at the end of the month. I can't tell you just yet, but we're going to be out there working with some brands, taking some cool meetings, and kind of just like and reconnecting. I think above even all of that, like anything that's related to community is important to bring up. I'm bringing like I think 9 of my friends with me.
Oh wow!
There's about like 20 of us in total that are all going out there. But I do foresee, you know, Ghana being what it is called. It's called the Gateway to Africa. It's the country that was founded on neo-Pan-Africanism and basically connection with the diaspora. So allowing people that are Black from all over the world to know that they have a home, even if it's just like an ethereal home or a relationship-based home on the continent and through Ghana. And so we're going back in a couple of days, a bunch of my friends, just to like go and live life and be in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And I do foresee some more art coming out of it for sure.
Let's get back to some music. Highs and Lows, the new single with Joey Badass.
Yes, sir.
You know, there's a big breath of fresh air, people, that if you haven't heard it, this is some real hip hop, good hip hop. And you know, I'm not dissing anybody out there that's putting out records or anything, you know, but it's good to hear something along these lines, man, that really speaks to my soul, that really speaks to even like, you know, my love for hip hop as a DJ, you know. Tell me about that record and how it came together. Yeah, no, that record it might be my favorite record I've ever made. Wow, really?
Not by far. It's probably the one. It's definitely like top 5 greatest songs that I've ever made. But also how good they are. It doesn't always like, you know, relate to my relationship to it as like where I rank it. You know what I mean? But it is just like, it's filled with truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm really speaking on my life, on my relationship with my significant other, on my relationship with my community, on my relationship with myself. And it was recorded in Atlanta. I went out to Atlanta for a conference type thing with Revolt, and I seen Joey, who that is like one of my, like, I have a few friends that I say like that are my real friends that are in the industry, and Joey Badass is one of them. We dropped the same year. Both of us celebrated the 10-year anniversaries of our first projects. 10
same
day
class right there, pretty much.
The same class.
Same
you know what I'm
class
saying? Like,
right there. Same draft class.
You know what I'm saying? No, but that's my dog. And we ended up going to the studio. Just went through some beats, freestyle for probably 2 hours, just like in the control room, kicking it. And then we got to the highs and the lows. We were on that song for so long. We were like, we should just get pen and paper and make this a thing. And so we finished the record last year. And then, like I said, I went to Ghana and I met Nilo Bianga, the painter who made the first piece for Child of God. And she introduced me to a photographer named Giannis Davy Gwabinga, who's lives in Toronto, but another Black artist from Central Africa that does photography in the coolest way. And we just immediately got to work on it together, and shot the video at the Venice Biennale, which is the world's largest, most prestigious art fair. And it's not a super welcoming space always for Black artists. You feel me? And they have gotten better. And this year, actually, the two winners of the Golden Lion were two amazing Black female artists. But Beautiful. We ended up going out there and kind of just feeling a little bit left out almost. But in turn, we were picked up and shown love by the Black artist community that was out there, and kind of created our own space. We called ourselves the Black Venice Alliance. So we threw a fat ass party, invite only party, the last night to celebrate the wins. We got to connect. There was no like status differences in between people. It wasn't like there was like,
it was just the vibe.
It was just vibing.
It was just shot the video. It was just energy, people feeding off each other.
No, it was a real time, and I was surrounded by the world's greatest artists. So it was just like an opportunity.
Oh, that energy had to be just impeccable right there. Like, just
I mean, I'm a filmmaker too. So like,
for sure.
So when you go to Italy, they say like painters come to Italy and paint in Florence because it has the best natural light in the world. That's what they say, the sunlight. So if you notice, like none of the shots in the video are lit; they're all natural lighting, and just great compositions. Not to toot my own horn, but great compositions on the shots. And we were able to like create this video that really showed what what it feels like to be Black in foreign land, and not just the lows of it, but also the highs of it and the smiles of it and the interaction there. So to me, it's probably my best piece so far.
Wow.
But I'm happy.
That's big. That's big coming from you, man. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we're our hardest critics, So it's like, even for me, like, I mean, I don't think I can even pinpoint like what would be like my top 3 or top 5, like greatest bodies of work, So that's big coming from someone as artistic and talented as you,
Yeah, I think like what we do as artists is we try and like one up ourselves in terms of the communication and the impact of our art always. And we know how we feel about different songs. And so I feel like every once in a while you hear an artist say like, yo, this is my favorite thing I ever made. You know what I mean? Because it's like you work on it like your life depends on it. Like you're writing it like it's so important for people to catch the message, for people to positively, interact with it. And then it comes out and it's really like no longer up to you. You got to just watch your kid grow up in the world, basically. And so the way that people, analogy. You know what I'm saying? The way that people have reacted to it, though, they love my kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was just a great moment of collaboration and connectivity. Like I keep talking about, like it was a great time for Black people from all around the world to connect. And then I feel like we've kind of like created a time capsule. Like I think over time, once people start noticing, oh, that's Hank Willis Thomas in the video, or oh, that's Tariku Sharifah. Like as these artists start to become more and more globally recognized in spaces that aren't accessed as like the fine arts world or stuff, but like real people start to see it. They're like, oh, these are the people that created art that changed my life. You know what I'm saying? So very proud of this work, very proud of the love that has been getting shown. The fact that it's, you know what I'm saying? Like we're in a different era also, like with the kind of music that's getting created, like, and a lot of
that's
stuff
what I'm saying. It's like such a
different.
big, like, fresh breath of air. Like when that record hit my inbox, shout out Troy Marshall one time.
Shout out Troy Marshall.
Yo, I swear to you, man, I listened to it and like, I'm one of those like I'm a big music snob these days, you know, and a lot of it is because it comes with my age now, you know, like, and I've been doing this for quite some time. So it's like, okay, like, all right, you know, everything just seems like it's a little very microwave and very surface. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The things that DJs are seeing and playing, you know, today, it's just, you know, what we're getting in mass quantities. But then you get that one gem, and that gem is highs and lows, and I'm like, wow. Like this one, like, you know, and I'm big on message. I'm big on positivity. I'm big on community. I'm big on having that message resonate. And I feel like, you know, your music, like, yo, we need more of that, man. We need more Chance the Rapper, bro. Yeah. We need more of this positivity out there. We need more communities to be built off that vibe. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna roll into this next question, which is like, yo, do you have like an album coming out? Is there a tour or something like that?
I'm working on
like,
I'm working on this project, and I'm working on. I will be touring soon. I can't say the release for the ticket dates, but I can say that I've taken time to myself to create the picture that I wanted to give to people, the aesthetic, the visual language. I spent time just figuring out exactly how I want people to see my just video versions of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's been very fruitful. Like I'm very, very happy with the direction that the project's going in, with the new music that we've been making, the collaborators that have spent time with me. And I think it's what I'm making is probably some of the best art to come out in the past like 30 to 50 years. And it's not me, you know, hyping myself up or being gassed or cocky or anything like that. It's because of the collaboration mainly. It's because of all the people that I've been able to be in relationship with making this shit that made it so hard. You know what I'm saying? And but also for myself, I'm the rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a rapper. I'm not that rapper. I'm the only one that does it the way that I do it. You know what I'm saying? And this is the real way to do it. And so, you know, to be at a level where I could, you know, write out every word that I'm saying on screen and it still hit. It's like the proof is in the pudding. Like I'm about to show everybody how to rap, about to show everybody how to make music that touches your soul. And I'm about to teach everybody how to be in community with each other. And so I haven't been calling it an album. I've been calling it a project because that's how I'm working on it. The songs themselves are like albums. Each song is such dense art that I need to layer it out between painting, video, and songs so that it can come across. And yeah, like when it comes to the show, like my live show is just different. I'm a disruptor, and so I think the thing that I'm most excited about and the thing that gives me the most comfort is that all those people that were with me since day one, since 10 day, all these people have been popping up in my comments and in my DMs and popping up on the street, just letting me know like, yo, Child of God was exactly what I needed. Or yo, the highs and the lows was exactly what I needed. Or the bar about a bar is like what hip hop needs. Like people coming to me and saying, I remember how you made me feel the first time. And now this is even crazier. And a lot of those people, like, I'm going to see you at the show. And I'm going to put on the show that no one else can put on, the Chance the Rapper show.
Before we're out of here, you know, I like to look at you, and I'm sure everyone else, like, you know, sees you the same way, as one of the more and most positive and inspiring figures of hip hop today. You know, what is something that you can leave somebody who's watching this interview right now that might be, you know, going through a tough time, that things are going to be all right? What's some words of encouragement, wisdom, affirmations, anything like that, something that we can leave people on a high note with, like, what, things are going to be all right.
I think I'm a quote one of the best people that I know, like literally no joke, one of like the kindest people I know, one of the smartest people I know, somebody that built a lot of community, and is basically being harassed by the state right now. Shout out to my homie Jeff, Young Thug. Love from everybody, like literally everybody in the world is waiting your fair trial and your opportunity to get back home and see your kids and be the father that you always been. But Young Thug had a saying that he said one time. He said if you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. If you're tired of starting over, quit giving up. Because a lot of us find ourselves in positions where we feel like we're overwhelmed with all these different tasks, and it seems like a new one keeps coming. New problems keep surfacing. And the truth is, we just got to see these things through. We got to execute. And though it may be tough, though it may seem like impossible, I'm sure you can remember a lot of times in the past where you felt like you didn't know how you were going to survive. And now you can't even think of it as a problem now because it's so far behind you. And that's how all these things are. They're just another day, and you've seen a lot of days, and you made it back to your bed every night. So just, if you're tired of starting over, quit giving up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Free Thug, yo.
Chance the Rapper. Absolutely. What you got planned this weekend? It's National Tequila Day on Sunday.
I had enough. Did my fair share in Mexico. No, there will be no tequila consumption for me. I'm taking a sabbatical. No, I'm dead. You know me. I'm not a big drinker anyway. But yeah, no, I won't be drinking. But yeah, I'm gonna fly home to the Bay Area. I'm actually gonna go have lunch with Vaughn and Lex on Sunday. We're gonna hit up Horn Barbecue. If y'all know about Horn Barbecue, I mean, I really shouldn't even be talking about it because it's just gonna get more crazy than it already is. But it's such a fucking amazing place, and Matt, the pitmaster / owner, is an amazing fucking super cool guy who came up from Oakland. Actually, I need to reach out to him. I would love to have him on the podcast because this dude, I've eaten barbecue all around the country in some of the most well-recognized places for barbecue. What Matt Horn is doing at Horn Barbecue in Oakland is not just good barbecue for Oakland. It's good fucking barbecue, period. He could compete up against the best in the fucking world. What dude is doing over there is absolutely amazing. Words
coming from you, bro.
I'm telling you, I'm a foodie, bro. Like I said, I've done the research. I've done the legwork. I've gone out there and I've ate the fucking food. And I'm telling you, Horn Barbecue in Oakland is hands down, not even close, the best barbecue you're probably going to eat anywhere. And like I said, I've had it in Texas. I've had it in Tennessee. I've had it in all the places that are known for barbecue. Matt Horn at Horn Barbecue. Big shout out to you. I fuck with you. But yeah, I'm gonna be over there on Sunday. I'm really just flying to the Bay Area to go have Horn Barbecue. If we're being completely honest, I'm gonna go see.
That's your mantra on everything that we talk about. I'm really only gonna go to Mexico just to eat. I'm really only gonna go to the 49er game just to eat.
Hey, man, I'm a foodie. You know what I mean? Like, if you could plan events around food, it makes you just be a more happy, positive person. But yeah, obviously, I'm gonna go hang out with my mom and go see my gramps and my nephew and all that stuff too. But going to get some fucking barbecue, period.
I need to make a trip back home. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done that in quite some time. I haven't been back to the Bay, at least the Bay Area.
Shame on you.
The Bay Area that I'm from. Like, I haven't been back to Concord, Pittsburgh.
I was about to say, you've done Temple. You've done Temple a few times.
Yeah, but you know what it is, man? I get in, I go to the hotel, I sleep for 3-4 hours. I mean, there's nothing to eat, and at the same time, I feel like it's like super unsafe to eat in downtown. Like, if you're walking by yourself and shit like that.
There's everything in the city closes at 9:00. You're not getting no good food out there.
So like, I'll order something, and then I'll go to the club 10:30, 11 o'clock, do my shift, and come back, and then dude, sometimes I get out early because I can't visit my family, and I don't feel right when when I'm in San Francisco, I play a show, and then I wake up at like 2:00, and I'm like, man, like I'm literally out here, and I feel like I'm like disconnected from like everything that means the world to me, which is, granted, it's 45, 50 minutes away in Walnut Creek, Concord, and and whatnot, but I haven't been back. And
well, you need to. All right, you're not being a good family member. But yo, next time you do go and you are planning to go to the East Bay, let me know. I will fucking fly out there. I'll take your ass to Horn Barbecue, and then you can come on the podcast.
Oh, no, it's in Oakland. You said. Yeah.
It's right off of West Grand, like the first exit when you come over the bridge from the city, like right where Howard Terminal and all that shit's at for like all the longshoreman stuff. But yeah, you can go eat it, and then you can come on here and validate everything that I'm saying. I'm telling you, it's fucking incredible. 2 banana puddings, though. You got to get 2 banana puddings.
Man, now you're making me eat like an asshole again, man.
You eat one there, and then you go eat another one like a few hours later because it's so fucking good.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. All right, well, next week, Wiz Khalifa is going to be on the podcast. That's really wild conversation, bro. Wild conversation. Oh my god,
I can only imagine.
Wait till I show you the clips, and I mean, this conversation went off the rails, but it was a good off the rails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was the way that Wiz knows how to get it done. So yeah, I'm excited for that podcast to come out. That's going to come out next week at some point. I'm no longer going to say Tuesdays because I feel like we're dropping anytime we can. Like,
get it when you fucking get it.
Get you, yeah. Get it when you fucking. Guess what? Every time you get a notification, that is when the podcast comes out. So
great segue, E-Rock. Great segue. So people, the podcast is kind of, like I said, it's very fluid right now in terms of scheduling. So if you actually want to know when the new episodes drop, make sure you're liking, subscribing, make sure you're following all of the socials so you know when all the new episodes and all the new content will be delivered. So you can check us out at the hotbox_pod, right? This is the hotbox_pod at DJ E-Rock at BoxKev. It's on the Radio Basement page on YouTube, but you could just literally just search the Hotbox Podcast. Mike Tyson's probably going to come up first, and then we'll be right underneath that. So,
but you know what though, we might actually have a couple of big announcements towards the podcast. I feel well, everything that we've been doing, it's just literally me and Kev. Like we have no partners involved. We're booking our own guests. We're coming up with our own content. We're editing everything ourselves. Like it's literally a 2-man show. And I think probably in the next couple of weeks, hopefully I'd say 2 months from now, we're probably going to have some really like big announcements that we can make because people are starting to take notice of what we're doing. You know what I mean? And I feel like, we've always like try to maintain like no matter what day we come out, we always want to make sure that the content is always good. And I feel like as long as that's intact, like we're always going to have something great for you guys every single week. So
100%. So on that note, again, make sure you guys like, subscribe, stay tuned. And next week we'll have Wiz Khalifa on there, man. That's big. So check us out.
Huge. Let's go.